There comes a moment when your excuses no longer matter. When life corners you, no money, no comfort, no applause, and whispers, "What are you going to do now?" Some break, some bow, but a few, a rare few, stand up from the ashes of nothing and turn it into everything. Picture this. A young woman, barely 22, sleeping in a shelter, cold, alone, her dreams bigger than the roof above her head. Across the country, a young man lives in a broken-down van, his family struggling, his future uncertain. He stares at the ceiling every night and wonders, will I ever make it? That woman's name was Halle Berry. That man was Jim Carrey. Two souls, two storms, both homeless, both hungry not just for food, but for a chance. Halle Berry left home with a bag, a dream, and almost nothing else. She slept in a New York shelter when the money ran out. No one cared who she was. No one saw the future Oscar winner. They just saw another face in the crowd. But she refused to go home. Because home wasn't where the dream was. The dream was out there, waiting, testing, whispering, "How bad do you want it?" And Jim Carrey, a kid from Canada who used to park his van outside film studios, imagining his name on the big screen. He once wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered. He dated it years in the future, a promise to his future self. And when the world laughed, he smiled. Because faith doesn't need proof, it needs persistence. You see, dreams don't grow in comfort. They grow in chaos. They grow in nights you want to quit. They grow in the silence no one claps for. Everyone wants success, but not everyone is willing to sleep in the dark for it. You can't just want the crown. You must bleed for it. You must be willing to look foolish, broke, misunderstood, and still keep walking. Alan Watts said, "The only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance." Halle didn't wait for permission. Jim didn't wait for validation. They just started. And that's what separates the dreamers from the doers. The belief that even when you have nothing, you are still enough. Think about it. Every great story starts with a struggle. Every champion was once a nobody. Every legend was once ignored. The question isn't whether you have talent. It's whether you have tenacity. Because there will be moments when you lose everything. Moments when the door slams in your face. Moments when people walk away and your faith trembles. That's when you must whisper to yourself, "I am not finished yet." When they laugh, keep going. When they doubt, keep building. When they disappear, keep believing. Mahatma Gandhi said, "First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win." You are the architect of your own miracle. You are the proof that pain can become power. One day, years later, Jim Carrey opened that same envelope. The one with his own $10 million check. He had just earned that exact amount. For his role in Dumb and Dumber. And Halle Berry, the girl who once slept in a shelter, stood on the stage of the Academy Awards, holding an Oscar, her voice trembling through tears. She looked out at the world and said, "This moment is so much bigger than me." That's what dreams do. They outgrow your pain. They rise beyond your struggle. They become the light that guides others out of darkness. So when you're tired, remember them. When you feel small, remember them. When you're down to nothing, remember that even nothing can become everything if you don't give up. Because the truth is, you don't need comfort to build greatness. You need courage. You need hunger. You need the kind of faith that refuses to die in the dark. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase." So don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait for people to believe. Start now. Build now. And one day, they'll tell your story. The one that began in the shadows, but ended in the spotlight. From homeless to Hollywood. From nothing to everything. And so can you. Quoteverse is a project dedicated to inspiring and improving lives. If you are not following, you may never see us again. But if you are, congratulations, you are growing every day.